Hi guys, welcome back to the Stores on Peace channel. This is the Social Discourse Show. So I'm sure a lot of people are excited, especially Arsenal fans and even myself, about the winning we had yesterday. It was a very, very interesting win. But today we are going to be looking about the narratives. The narratives keeps changing. The goalpost keeps changing. Arsenal need to do this, needs to do that before they win the title. And even sometimes when eventually, there is nowhere to hide, they still find a place to hide. I don't know if you really get what I'm saying. So we are going to be starting today's show, of course. We are going to be looking at, a couple of videos, but we are going to be starting with Jamie O'Hara, who is a Tottenham fan, a former football player, hates Arsenal to the bone. And the hypocrisy in what they say shows in how they reason, in how they say these things. And also, we are going to be looking at, another video from Alex Crook, who finally is making a U-turn on his decision about who is going to be winning the EPL this season. Then lastly, we are going to be discussing the Unai Emery's handshake. Why is Unai Emery? Why did he not shake Mikel Arteta? What are the the motives and a host of other things? So just like I said, we are going to be starting the video. This is the person you are seeing on screen right now is Jason Cundy, a Chelsea supporter. Chelsea, by the way, had a very, very, very abysmal, same as Manchester United. Manchester United drew Wolverhampton Wanderers yesterday, 1-0 draw. Wolverhampton Wanderers has not won in about 11 matches or 10 matches. When Arsenal played Wolverhampton Wanderers, the conversation was that Arsenal did not beat them the way they were supposed to beat them. The crucial 3 points, everybody overlooked that. They were only keen on the fact that Arsenal should be scoring 6 or 7 goals. Okay. Sorry, Manchester United played them yesterday. It was a 1-0 draw. Chelsea played Bournemouth yesterday. It was a 2-0 draw. So let us come into what we are going to be discussing today, and that is the Jamie O'Hara discussion. So I'm going to be playing this video right now, and we can keep up our conversation from there.
In one word.
It's abysmal.
Jeez. Mikey, listen, thanks in call. I'm going to go to Chris. He's an Arsenal fan. All right, Chrissy.
Chrissy boy.
How you doing, boys? You good?
All right, Chris.
All right, you're not worried tonight, are you?
Definitely not tonight, mate. That was just second half. The performance was class. First half wasn't great at all. I mean, Watkins misses a sitter from his standards, but credit to Arteta. I don't know what he said to him at half time, but the boys come out.
Finger out. I mean,
class.
It was a massive second half.
Brilliant second half. And by the way, I just want to say, Gabriel Bonoho, if you're listening, yeah, you're a clown. Because I remember when you beat us, he was saying, "Oh, Arsenal not that great." Well, look at you tonight. What was you tonight then? Shocking. Not even one.
He's not even here to defend himself.
He's not here.
He's not here.
That's why I said if he's listening.
No, phone up when he's on.
Yeah, when he's on, phone him.
No, but I only like speaking to you two.
Listen, Chris, I've been giving Arsenal a bit of stick saying, I'm not convinced. Not convinced that the finishing, own goal's been your best player in December, but I have to say.
Can you imagine? The finishing has been bad. Own goal's been your best player this Christmas season. The own goals happen if there are no pressures, if there are no playmaking. The own goals really, really happen. Let's talk about it. The own goals really happen. And on the verge of Arsenal not scoring a lot of goals, I did a video yesterday. You can check it on my channel where I talked about the difference between Arsenal and Manchester City. The difference between Arsenal and Manchester City on the table right now, apart from the fact that Arsenal is leading with points, another major difference is also that the goal difference between the two teams is just +2. +2, and it looks like, Manchester City has scored a ton of goals, a load of goals. But there is just 2-goal difference. And the only reason why people keep talking about this conversation of Arsenal not scoring goals is simply because of the fact that it's not coming from just one man, Gyökeres. They expect because Haaland is scoring a truckload of goals, Gyökeres should be doing the same thing. But unfortunately, he's not doing that. And, that has even raised a lot of conversation about the fact that maybe Arsenal are not playing to his strength. The way the Arsenal team is built is that anybody can score from any goals. Look at what happened yesterday. Gabriel came in, immediately made, the two Gabriels, by the way, immediately they made impact. Gabriel Magala scoring from a corner, Gabriel Jesus scoring an amazing goal. So let me keep on playing the video so that we can, look at other things that he said that, were used to downplay the success of Arsenal yesterday. The fact that Arsenal won yesterday, because the narrative would have been different if, peradventure, Arsenal lost that match yesterday.
Say tonight, look, what I would say, Chrissy, and this is not me, with my Spurs hat on, but
Oh, here we go. As soon as that's... Hold on, Chris.
No.
Hold on, all you gooners, listen.
Hear
Hold
me
on,
out.
one second. All you gooners, right? Pin back your lug holes.
hear me out.
All right, here we go.
Hear me out.
Go on.
Go on.
I think this was a step too far for Aston Villa. It's a bad time to play Arsenal at the Emirates. It's the end of
Can
the
you
year.
imagine?
The last game.
What you mean?
They've had like 8 games in December. They've had 11 on the bounce.
No,
There was always going to be a game where you go, we've run out of steam.
Can you just imagine? See a total change in narrative. It is a bad time to play Arsenal. Aston Villa has been on 11, straight win. Arsenal, in fact, Aston Villa has even been tipped to actually be the team, or perhaps the best team in Europe right now. Because I heard that conversation yesterday. I heard it yesterday when somebody was saying that right now, the way it is, Aston Villa are the best team in Europe because locally they have won 11 and, I think in all competition, maybe 14 or so. Straight win. But now, at the back of trashing from Arsenal, all of a sudden, they're allowed to be tired. They're allowed to be tired, It's a bad time playing Arsenal, especially at the Emirates Stadium. But when they won over Arsenal in their own stadium, it is mentality class. It is Emirates showing Mikel Arteta what it takes to actually be a top coach. So these are the narratives. These are what I'm saying. Please remember to drop your comment, guys. I really want to hear from you. This is a very interesting conversation. I want to hear from you.
And that was tonight. Second half, they had no legs.
So Villa got lucky. Oh, sorry, Arsenal got lucky they played Villa.
No, they didn't get lucky. Arsenal deserved
Can you imagine?
the second half. But I think tonight, I felt it was a good time to play Villa. They've won 11 games in a row. They
Damn.
put everything into it. Get themselves in a title race. But they're not Arsenal, are they? Let's be honest. They're not Arsenal.
No, but when you're playing...
Where were these conversations a couple of weeks ago? In fact, nobody was talking about Aston Villa 5 matches into the season. All of a sudden, they are on a winning streak, and everybody is actually tipping them to be a title contender. Up until yesterday, that Arsenal destroyed them. They stopped being a title contender, and also they had tired legs because they are of course on the back of 11 winning streaks and maybe 14 across Europe or something like that. Do you see how the narratives are changing? Do you know how many number of followers these guys have? Do you know how many people listen to TalkSport? This is how narratives are changing, and nobody will just open their mouth and say kudos to Arsenal for doing a very, very good job. Imagine if Arsenal had lost that match yesterday.
The team that's on form, it's not really a good time to play, especially.
But
11
games they've won, and
yeah,
it's been
but hold on.
non-stop
hold on,
games.
Jamie,
they play, and then
before
they play you at the end of the year.
How does that matter? It was Arsenal's to lose. It was Arsenal that doesn't. Arsenal, of course, don't win in December. Arsenal, of course, don't perform well in December. So how all of a sudden Arsenal winning in December now, should. In fact, I don't even know what to say because Aston Villa all of a sudden are not supposed to win in December. Meanwhile, his original Arsenal is not supposed to win in December. Aston Villa has a good form, but all of a sudden Arsenal win. Aston Villa now has a bad form because they have played into December. Damn.
Yeah, but before the game started, when we all found out Rice weren't playing, I was like, wow, because that means we got no one really to... We have got people to mark Rodgers, but no one like Rice. So I was like, oh, God, another injury. But fair play to the boys. I thought Zubamendi tonight, by the way, was quality. He was breaking up everything.
Zubamendi was brilliant. He was.
Yeah, he was. And
Second half, he was brilliant. Second half, he was brilliant.
So if you watch the video I made yesterday on my other channel, the Arsenal in Me, I really, really talked about it that, okay, Arsenal played Aston Villa's game plan. Arsenal studied it, owned it, and really, really, changed the game. Because the Aston Villa game plan is that they come into the first half, they try to sit back, to try to level up the game. Then the second half, they come all out. They stay conservative in the first half. They come all out in the second half. But the way we have seen Arsenal over time is that Arsenal comes out in the first half, stay conservative in the second half. But yesterday, Arsenal came out on both halves. Both halves. I don't agree with people that said Arsenal did not play well in the first half. Fine. Aston Villa had chances, Ole Watkins would have scored some goals, to be honest. But yes, he did not score, and that is part of football. Arsenal took their chances. And the narrative is changing right now. So I'm going to be going into another video, of course. I'm going to be going into, Alex Crook, who made a U-turn. Alex Crook, one of the top commentators on TalkSport. So I'm going to his video right now. I want us to listen to where he made a U-turn, and because oftentimes they always go, even Gary Neville, they always go back and forth between Arsenal, Manchester City, Liverpool. So unfortunately, Liverpool is not in the conversation right now because they have the worst performing season for a title defender. I don't really know about Leicester, but I think they have the worst performing, considering that they are a very, very big club. They are a top club. They could not even defend their title properly. So we are moving on from that. Let's listen to Alex Crook, who actually made a U-turn, and we are going to actually discuss about what he said.
But Boubacar Kamara out, cash out, down to the bare bones. Aston Villa, Arsenal replenished. It's not the biggest.
Yeah, Gabriel coming back in was a massive bonus.
What was the feeling of the Arsenal fans? Was that a statement victory, a statement performance? Everyone associated with Arsenal would have been hoping for that. How important is Gabriel? What did you think about Declan Rice's replacement in the middle of the park? Because arguably Marino played in there. He thought he played quite well. But Zubimendi did a fantastic job, especially in the second half. The pressing was brilliant from Arsenal all over the pitch.
So, sorry, let me cut this real quick. As an Arsenal fan, I think Marino is underrated. I think Marino is misunderstood. And the only person that understands Mikel Marino is actually Mikel Arteta. Just like the way a lot of us Arsenal fans, really misunderstood Havertz when he newly came into the squad. Mikel Merino is a machine, intelligent player, utility player, fits into so many roles, just like Declan Rice. Declan Rice, before yesterday's match, before the injury picked up, was playing as a right back in the Brighton match because, of course, Timber was unavailable. So when you look at the versatility these players have, when you look at how efficient they are, it is really very difficult to say that Arsenal will not win the title this season. It is really very difficult. The only thing that can take this thing away from Arsenal is injuries. And luckily, many of these players are coming back.
Well, he was leading that.
He's gone unnoticed, really. But what a signing he's been. And as you say, he had to play a slightly different role last night. But what he has done when Declan Rice is fit and available is he freed up Declan Rice to play higher up the pitch and obviously contribute with more goals and assists. I think they're a brilliant partnership. And they've got brilliant partnerships all over the pitch, haven't they? That central defensive duo, Zubimendi and Rice in midfield, that they are... See, I keep flip-flopping, don't I?
Do you?
I'm now coming back around to the idea that Arsenal might win the league.
Exactly. Arsenal might win the league.
So we've had beginning of the season, Liverpool, then you went Arsenal, then you've gone Man City, and now you're going Arsenal again.
Yeah. I never went Villa.
You never went Villa.
Never went Villa.
You definitely didn't go Villa. Villa might have felt. In fact, I'll tell you this story, right? This is what happened in the tunnel last night, right? So after the match.
So this is actually going to lead us to the handshake, the Unai Emery's handshake. Before I play this video, I really want to. You can drop a comment in the comment section if you think what I want to say is wrong or is instigating. Before I talk about this particular incident, this handshake, I want to say something that if that incident were to be carried out by Arteta, for example, let's say Mikel Arteta, during the match or after the match ended, was the one that did not shake Unai Emery, what do you think these guys would be saying? Or how exactly do you think they would handle it? How exactly do you think they will see? They will say Mikel Arteta lacks the mentality of a big coach. He doesn't know how to handle himself. Whenever he's a big match, he goes, and many narratives would of course come up.
I spoke to Unai Emery, and I asked him about the Gabriel goal, whether or not he thought it was should have been checked by the VAR, or whether it should have been overruled. And he said, he just looked at me and just went, it's England, like that, right? In Europe, he said it would have been ruled out, but it wouldn't be in England. Now,
well, if you know that, what are you moaning about?
The director of football operations, who I think we quoted yesterday.
Has he been tweeting again?
Damien.
So they want to talk about Mikel Merino. You know, there was a particular, Mikel Merino was already on a yellow card, and there was a particular place. He actually could have picked up a yellow card. He was lucky, admitted he was lucky, but this is part of football. There are many things that a referee thinks about in matches of that caliber. There are times they don't want to spoil the game. There are times they want to keep up the pace. There are times they want fans to enjoy the game. So if Mikel Merino, okay, let me even let the conversation.
No. Damien Vidigani, is that right?
He always accompanies him in the.
Okay, so he hung back after the game to tell us that he was furious about the fact that Mikel Merino was fortunate to escape a second yellow card.
Yeah, I heard you allude to that.
Now,
fortunate.
I'll tell you this, he was right, because he should have been sent off, Merino.
He should have been sent off, right? And he might not have been sent off. To be honest, it's a 50-50 chance, and it all depends on the referee. Okay, the conversation might be what if, you know, it was the other way around, and, you know, he actually picked up the red card. It is the prerogative of the referee. The referee really determines what is happening on the pitch, and the referee yesterday was mature enough to understand that that was a big match, and that match needed, you know, all of the players on the field, and also that match needed the entertainment that we had. Forget the fact that, because to be honest, it's not even going to change anything if Merino by that time picked up a second yellow card, because I think Arsenal already leading by 3 goals to 0, 2 goals to 0. And you cannot tell me you are going to come down. The worst thing that would happen is a draw. In fact, a draw is even unlikely.
Because it was a second yellow card for a foul for pulling back Morgan Rogers. It was a blatant pullback.
Yeah. And Stuart Pearce agreed with you.
And I think if you had that moment again, and you were the referee who was down in England last night, you probably should have produced a second.
Was it 1-0 at that stage, or was it 0-0?
It was 2-0 at that stage.
Right.
I don't think it changes the game. And actually, the director of sporting operations, or whatever his name, whatever his title is, did say we can't blame the referee for the result. But
exactly.
That was a questionable decision. You have to get that right, and I think that's true.
So is this going to be another club complaining to the PGMO?
I think it might be.
All right, guys. So what exactly do you make of this? What do you make of this? Do you actually think he should have been sent off? You know, I really want to hear from you. Do you think, you know, it was only lucky? Yes, I really want to hear from you. So now we are going into the handshake proper. You know, remember I said earlier that Unai Emery, if it was Mikel Arteta that did that yesterday, the media houses would have been very unfair to Mikel Arteta. So let's go into the conversation proper.
03717223344. This is Unai Emery after the game. This is what he said about why he didn't shake Mikel Arteta's hand.
No, because I am finishing, and always I am going to the opponent coach, and I was waiting for Arteta, but he was with his coaches, and I went inside because I didn't want to wait more. But no problem.
Yeah, listen, I'm not saying that he's not telling you the truth, but he did say something completely different to the television. He said it was too cold.
It's not a great look, is it? And
that is. I'm looking for the word to qualify it. That is unimaginable. That is stupid. That is you know, it's not sportsmanlike for Unai Emery. So I think Unai Emery as a person really takes that game to his heart. He really wants, because last season he destroyed Arsenal season. You know, they won at the Emirates Stadium or so. That destroyed Arsenal season. This season they have won the first leg at the Villa Park, and now at the Emirates Stadium. Do you really expect to beat Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium? The worst of the worst that would happen is a draw. So I don't really understand how he was expecting to beat Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. And then the match ended, the trashing of your life. Mikel Arteta finally graduating from your, I don't even know what English to use. And then you could not even wait to have a handshake. Very unsportsmanlike. And I saw videos yesterday where Martinez, you know, was also very furious. And the issue of Martinez left, you know, handled in a transfer request, left Arsenal. It was not even Mikel Arteta that sold Martinez. It was Unai Emery that sold Martinez. So guys, this is the video I want to make. Guys, I really want your comments in the comment section. Remember to drop your comments. Also, please subscribe to my channel. What other thing again? Like my video, and please support your boy. It is really, really very, 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 very important. Thank you, and I'm going to see you in the next one. And also, drop your comment, drop your comments.